Hello everybody, welcome to a craft with me video. Today I come to you from my new camera stand that my dad made for me. It's amazing, it's so much easier than the one that I've been using up till now, which needed hundreds of adjustments before you could even get started. This one you just plonk on your desk and it's brilliant. So I'm very happy about that. Okay, so today I am going to be making a little wallet like this. So let's just zoom you in there so you can see what we're doing. So it's a paper wallet made from an A4 piece of paper which is folded, and then it's folded so that you've got these little pockets to pop things inside, and they're great for going inside junk journals. So I'm going to make another one. This one's disintegrated slightly, but hopefully this next one will be a bit more robust. So I'm just going to grab my journal that I'm working on so you can see the colour scheme that I'm going for. So this is the journal that I'm working on at the moment. We're full of blues, whites, creams and a little hint of brown as well. So this little wallet is to be a piece of ephemera which can go in here. I hope the sound's okay on this because I feel like my voice is echoing an awful lot around the room. But I'm just going to see how it turns out because I keep putting off doing videos and it's just getting ridiculous now because I really want to make the effort to do some good ones. And I figured that the best way to get started is to just go for it. I've done them in the past, but my room's changed around since then. And it can't really go back to how it was because I've got more tables and things in now. So I'm just trying to find the optimal position. So in the meantime you might have to just bear with me until I get everything up and running to a higher standard. So I'm just going to start by showing you how I folded the paper. And I'm going to start with a scrap piece to make sure that I get it right because it is quite difficult to remember for some reason. Not for normal people, just me. For some reason I find it really hard to remember how I did it. Now we definitely start with a halfway fold. Like this. And then you open it out so that the peak is pointing upwards. And then you're going to take the peak and line it up about, what would you say that is, about 1.5 centimeters from the top, and squash it down. Now if you've seen my videos before you will know that I am not a fan of measuring things, I just like to get it done. Make it up as I go along kind of thing. So this one, the bottom edge gets folded up so that the crease is in line with the crease underneath. So they line up together. And then that piece is going to be folded and lined up once again. And then as you can see it makes two pockets, so one there and one there. And then what will happen is you'll glue these edges or stick them however you see fit. I am going to glue and then stitch. And we fold it in half from the outer edges. Doesn't have to be perfect. It is a junk journal after all, and it always has more character if you make some tiny mistakes along the way. At least that's what I tell myself every day. And then you'll have this cute little wallet. And you can do any kind of fastening on the side there, so if you wanted to pop an eyelet on both sides and tie it with something. Or you could do a magnetic closure if you just hid the magnet behind one of the pockets, and that would snap it shut. But I am just going to leave mine to flap open like this one, because then I like the idea that you can just tuck that in downwards as well if you need to do that. This is quite a bulky piece of ephemera, so bear that in mind when you're choosing a pocket for it to slip into. Any flat pocket that's flush with the page is going to have trouble to take that, so you might need to leave a gusset around the pocket edge to make sure it opens up enough to fit that in. So that is the example, and I managed to do it right, so let's see if I can do it again. So I'm using tea stain paper. That's why I did it on that scrap, because the tea stain paper I am running low on. I seem to do massive batches of it and then I just go through it so fast. So fold in half, open up, peak pointing upwards, and lift the peak to 1.5 centimeters from the top. Fold the bottom edge up so that we have a fold which matches the underfold, and the edge of the paper folds back down on itself. Well, hey, 2 times in a row. I think I've thrown all the examples in the bin, but if I had them here I would show you how many examples it took for me to remember how to do this. Yeah, so next I need some glue. I'm going to use tacky glue for this, but you could use a tape roller or something like that if you prefer dry medium. Now this is unused, so let's... Is it already open? Or does it have... Oh no, it's got a little thingy. A little tab covering thing. Oh, look how tacky the tacky glue is. It's tacky, alright. So, with this bottle, I am making a vow here and now. I will keep replacing the lid. Not within the session. I mean, I'm not that dedicated, but at least at the end of every session I'm going to put the lid back on, because I am sick of having to unclog it every time. So I'm going to start at the bottom fold. Let's see how we get this flowing. Oh, it's coming. It's going to take quite a strong hand though, I think. In fact, I'm going to glue that entire edge down. With a fine layer of glue. Squidge it out. So this is going to be our first level pocket. So I only need to glue the side edges. Oh, I'm loving the precision, I can't even say it, precision that I'm getting with this bottle, because I've been struggling with the big bottle for a while. I sell these on my shop, by the way, if you want any tacky glue. I do like Anita's, because I find it to be the tackiest of the tacky glues that I've experienced anyway. Others I find quite runny usually. So that makes the pocket. How are we holding up? Okay, so we need this edge doing now. I mean, I am sure that there's a way that you could use the side edges as well if you wanted to go overboard. and have all kinds of things going on. You could have a little pocket in here, just glue down the back edge, but I'm going to glue that completely shut. And then I'm going to weigh it down as well because I'm aware that this edge is bouncing open. Should do the trick. And then we've got to put some glue on that edge, right up to the top. Well, that will be the top when it's folded. At the moment it's the bottom. And that makes that last pocket rather. Okay, so I need something to weigh this down. What have I got handy? Okay, I wouldn't be a journal queen, would I, if I didn't have a couple of notebooks handy? Sorry, ignore the dirt that's on there. Okay, so I'm going to take I think I'll take that centre one and go a bit more down the blue route because my booklet itself is kind of beige brown tea coloured, isn't it? So this is from a Stamperia or Stamperia I think, paper pack, and I can't remember the name of it, but I will link it in the description below. I just got it off Amazon, so I'll leave that as an affiliate link if you would like to purchase the same collection. There's some stunning papers. I mean, you've just seen that little flick through that I did of the journal, and a lot of the papers. I mean, the whole journal was inspired by that. And the papers are absolutely gorgeous. Just snip around the edges. And again, I'm not too worried about it being perfect, because that's the nature of these things. Okay, so I've got a little tiny hole there, and I think I will use my crocodile if I can locate that. So I'll just leave that to one side for now. What else have we got? So I've got a little label there which will go straight in. And I've got this to cut as well, which is another piece out of that same page of paper. How do you guys feel about fussy cutting things? Are you a perfectionist who would prefer to have a die for every single element that you put on? Or are you happy to cut with scissors and just embrace the slightly shabby look? Or are you just a lot better with a pair of scissors than I am? So this is a little tiny piece of replica ephemera that I got from a museum which is close to where I live, called Beamish. So if you're from the northeast of England, you will have heard of it. But they sell these little ephemera packs. Well, it's replica ephemera from, was this, I can't see which pack this was from, 1894, so it must have been the Victorian ephemera pack. And it's just got loads of little adverts and slightly offensive literature which came with various products such as vacuum cleaners and things like that. They're quite funny if you don't take them too seriously, and just remember that they were from the olden days and not from now. So that's one of those anyway. I've got this little bow which I intend to put on the front, and I think I might use some of this ribbon. It's got a name, hasn't it? But I can't remember what it is. Is it just gingham? Gingham ribbon? A little piece of frilly lace and some pretty lace. So these are just pieces that I'm going to have a play around with. And this is a tassel. I think I got that one from the range. I think that was, you know, that Bits and Basics range that you can get in some craft shops. I find those bits and pieces really useful. And then a little piece of note paper, which is pretty. And these, which I sell in the shop, just to make a bit more interest in your journals, to have some nicely shaped journal cards. So those are the things that I'm going to be using. Oh, and this little pinned banner thing. And then I've got these pieces of paper ready to cover it with. So let's see how we're doing under the pile of books. Right, that looks a bit more promising. Okay, I have a corner rounder somewhere. If I can remember where I put it. I think I'm being so organised and then I just forget where I've laid everything down. So this just makes everything look a bit more finished, I think. Just snip the corners, round them off. That's not going to be super round because of the way I folded the paper, but it still just takes the harshness off the edge. Right, I'm going to attempt to fold that now. Of course I could score it, but I'm just going to try and coax the fibres of the paper in the right direction. This is the Lazy Crafter's Guide. Just going to give that a good old crease with my bone folder, squash it down to make sure it knows which direction it needs to stay in. There we go, so it doesn't bounce open too much. As you can see, my folding is slightly off, but that's one of those imperfections that we're aiming for, eh? Definitely did it on purpose. Okay, time for the paper trimmer, which of course is under the pile of books that I've just moved. Excuse me while I dig it out. Right, let's have a measure. See how we're measuring up. Okay, so we're on about, I'll call it 85 mil by I've had a blank. 105. 85 by 105. So what we can do is take our piece, which we're going to use on the front, and we want to make that, I'm going to cut it precisely and then see if I can find my distressing tool to rough up the edges. I don't know if you can see actually, this edge is already torn. What did it say? 10.5 centimetres by 8.5. I've already done that wrong because that means I need to take half a centimetre, 5 mils off. So I'll go for 10 by 8. And then that should fit with a nice subtle border. like so. I think I want to take another 5mm off each edge of one side and one bottom edge, just to make that border a bit more pronounced. There we go, it looks a bit more on purpose now. I think I've got a slightly wonky edge, but I don't really mind too much because we've got this, I don't know if you can see that it's got like a darker tone there. Shall I zoom you in? Are you close? I don't think you're close enough for you to see what I'm doing. There we go, we'll try that. Let me know in the comments if my zooming is all off. Things are looking very bright as well. Okay, so because I've got these two edges rounded, I'm going to match that so that the rounded edges are there and the straight edges match with the corners there. Okay, I'm going to have a look for my distressing tool. I couldn't find my distressing tool, so I'm just going to use this small pair of scissors to rough up the edges a little bit. Gives it a little bit more of a distressed shabby chic look to go with the rest of the journal. And I'm going to stick that into place using tacky glue again. Because it's wet glue, you do have a little bit of wiggle time for adjusting slightly if you're a bit skew with. Okay, and then the back as well, I'm going to do the same thing. So I think we went to 9.5, didn't we? Soon find out. 9.5 by 7.5. Yes. Kind of wish that I'd put that one on the front now. I think it's a bit more vibrant than the other. Never mind. Just means that we've got a nice plain background on the front to do some layering. Right, love how that looks so far. Do I want a front pocket? I think I do. So this is how my thought process works. I just try things, see what I think will look good. So you could have had a little ribbon tie if I'd have stuck the ribbon underneath, but I don't think I want that at the moment. Yes, I think I'm going to go with that. So that should be the right width. I'm going to take the chunk off. I didn't distress the back, did I? Never mind. Should I distress this? Now I would usually, for something like this, tear a little bit and fold it back on itself. Actually, I'm going to try it. I was just a bit hesitant because it's got promotional material on the back, but at least it's colour coordinated, and for the small amount that's going to be folded you might not be able to see what it is anyway. I'm going to rough up those edges. Be very careful of your fingers if you're doing this. I'm just taking a little bit of the fluffiness off. And then I'm rounding that corner as well because it's going to be on top of the other round one. How's that looking? Yeah, I like it. Okay. And before I stick that, where's the piece of lace gone? Am I going to put this over the top or have it underneath? Over the top. So we're going to stick that down, 3 edges to make a pocket. Make sure that's nice and sturdy. I need lots of glue. My book's gone. Just get those ready. Got a little beetle that's visiting me. Just going to flick him away. Sorry little guy. I hope he survived that little trip. Okay. So with things like this I tend to just measure it with my nail and then snip. Oops. And stick it in place. Now don't worry about it too much. almost like he's got a little skirt on. And then I just need something interesting to pop in. So next I am going to sew. I'm going to do some stitching around to make little frames around those, and that'll just give a bit of visual interest to break up all of that beige space there. I am just using white cotton to do this stitching, so it might not make a massive difference, but it just adds another interesting thing, a little bit of texture. Okay, let's have a look at the result. So I've got some little tassels that need trimming, so I'm happy with the outside of that, and the inside is looking good. I'm hoping that you'll be able to see that on the camera there. So I'm going to trim those, but I'm still going to leave some little bits of thread hanging, because it'll just add to that shabby chic feeling. Let's zoom in again. Okay, so I need a couple of things to pop in the front pocket. Don't know if that will fit. What I'll do is just chop those down. That just makes an interesting tag in there. This is looking a bit too stuffed. I think it's that tag that's causing the problems. What else have I got to use? Too big. Some flowers that somebody can use to decorate. I feel like we need a bit of brown addition on the front. Is it going to be overkill to have a tassel? Swap that arrangement over, and the tassel can hang out to one side. Open it up. Some little goodies inside. How do we feel about a bow? In the centre. I'm sure I ordered some bows for the shop. I wonder where they went. Because I don't think I've loaded them onto it. I'll have to see if I can dig them out. Oops. So I love the front so far, and I like the bits that are sticking out at the top. This needs a hole, so I've got my crocodile. See if I can remember how to use it. I'm not putting it on in. I just wanted to use it because it's got a small, oh, where did that go? It's got a small hole punch for that. How about a piece of embroidery floss, just so that it's got something to hang by if somebody wants to use it as a little tag. For some reason, I don't like tags having no string. I like to see them with the little strings ready to be used. Hope that blue's not too dark. Right. Oh, picked up something along the way. Right. I am loving that so far. Open it up. Now I'm not loving this blank space down the bottom, but I have no idea what to put on it. That's not the same as the outside. I'm thinking I'll just make a little infill bit. So let's see if we've got a ruler handy. So if we say 8 by 2.5, and we need 2 of those. I'm measuring this side now, so it's easier to shave small bits off. And that will just leave a little space to add some name tags, or I feel like it needs some kind of writing on there, but I don't have anything with me at the moment, so we'll see how that ends up anyway when I've finished the journal. Might just leave it plain. Leave it up to whoever purchases it. sure I get them the right way up. Is that better? Yeah, I think so. Is it? Oh, I'm second guessing myself now. Ooh, that's better, isn't it? When you know, you know, what can I say? And then I imagine some writing with a brown background laid over the top. Doesn't have to say anything spectacular. Memories, something like that. Treasure. I don't know, I'm not very good at those kind of things. There, I think I'm going to call that finished. So we have some little bits in the front, a nice decorative bow, that lovely trim, the stitched edges, and then the little pieces of ephemera. I haven't got anything for that back pocket, but I'm not too worried about that since it's all covered. I'll have its back. Stick it in there. Yeah, that's not too bad. Just another thing that somebody can write notes on or stick little pictures on, or anything that is collected on travels. And there you have it. Let me know if you try it. It's not an original idea, but I have no idea where I've seen the idea before. It's just one of those things that you pick up along the way and then put your own spin on it. So yeah, if you do try it, let me know how it turns out. Please send me pictures. I would love to see what you do. And I shall see you next time for another video. Thanks a lot. Bye.